We are going to discuss how I research ETFs. Now there are many aspects we look into when we are searching or researching an ETF. So the first thing that we look into is what are the assets that are being tracked in the ETF. Is the ETF following an index, for example the S&P 500, FTSE 100, any other index? Is it following a sector, for example within the S&P 500? Is it following the IT sector, the communication sector, or any other sector? Or is it following a commodity like gold or silver? Or is it a mixture of all of these things? The next thing that we look into is the total expense ratio. The TER, or the total expense ratio, is a percentage that indicates the annual running cost of an ETF. The total expense ratio has nothing to do with the cost that you pay to your broker for placing or executing orders. These are totally different maintenance costs for your ETFs. Another thing that I look into is which provider is giving us this ETF. Is it Xtrackers, iShares, Luxor, etc. And the last thing I look into when I research ETFs is the total assets. If the total assets within an ETF are high, there is higher probability that this ETF will continue to be offered from the provider. If the total assets are very small, I generally stay away from those ETFs. The only website that I use to track or follow different kinds of ETFs is called Just ETFs. So let's have a look at how I actually research different kinds of ETFs. So we go to Just ETFs and click on Search ETFs, and here we'll have a lot of different options. For example, all of the asset classes like equity, bonds, precious metals. But we simply go into Find ETFs and I'll search for S&P 500 and select the first one. Here we'll have all of the information that is needed for us. So the ISIN number or the WKN number, which we need to put in our tracker to see if this ETF is what we are buying or not. Then we have the current price at the moment. Then we have the total expense ratio. Now this ETF has a total expense ratio of 0.07%, which is very good. Anything that is lower than 0.1% is good when it comes to ETF. However, there are certain ETFs that go 0.5% or even more than 1%. So please look into the total expense ratio, as it can cut into your profits when we're working with various ETFs. Then we have the other details, for example the fund domicile, and we can also look at the fact sheet which is available here. So this ETF is being provided by iShares. We can look at the key facts, the total holdings, the sector breakdown, and many other things. An important thing that we can look into with this fact sheet is the total assets of the funds, which is about 60 billion when it comes to iShares S&P 500. Now this is not a small fund at all. If you are getting value from this video, I would really appreciate if you hit the like button and consider subscribing. I have individual videos on almost every topic that I've discussed today. In this video, I share exactly how I would start investing if I had to start from zero. So thanks for watching Black Vision, and I'll see you in this video.